and welcome to Cupcake Addiction's golf cupcake tutorial, where I'll be showing you how to make this really cute little golfing cupcake, perfect for the golf enthusiast in your life. Tools and equipment that we will be using today: I have a Ziploc bag, a pair of scissors, I have a toothpick, I have one uncooked spaghetti noodle, I have a sour strap. You could also use fruit roll-ups or fondant. I've got my cupcake here to ice. Now, a little while ago you might remember that Jake from the Vegetarian Baker gave us a fantastic recipe for his vegan caramel apple cupcakes. I can't get enough of them, so that's what I'm frosting today. I've got a little bit of our perfectly pipeable buttercream frosting and I've tinted that green. I've got just a very small amount of red candy melt. You can also just use regular white chocolate, but I'm going to use red just so that it blends in with the colours on our flag. I've got a little bit of crushed shortbread or any crushed white biscuit, some mini M&Ms, and for my little golf balls today I'm using these little tiny pearl cashous, they're called. So they're a little tiny pearl round sprinkle that you can buy in most cake decorating shops. I also have a knife. So let's get started. The first thing that we want to do is prepare our little golfing flag. So we're going to take this sour strap and cut it in half, and then we're going to fold it over like so and just cut it into a nice little triangle. Perfect. Now I'm going to use a spaghetti noodle for this. Spaghetti noodles are edible. Obviously they don't taste like anything too special, but they're completely edible and they're a nice skinny golf pole. You could also use a pretzel if you wanted something that was a little bit tastier. I'm going to break that about halfway. It's always better to have your stick a little bit longer than what you need rather than a little bit shorter. So I'm going to take that toothpick and that red candy melt, and I'm just going to, might just dip the noodle in there. Pop it right there in between the flags, and then with the toothpick I just want to get a little bit more, not too much because you don't want too much seeping out the tops, just a little bit more of that red candy melt sort of up the end of it to stick it together. So we're going to hold that and fold over our little golf flag and press it down. If you get any popping out the top, this is why I opted for the red candy melts, you can just wipe it off. And I'm just going to sit that underneath a book or something heavy just until it is completely set. Now while that one's setting, we'll frost up our cupcake. I'm just going to do one of our flat top frosting swirls. So we do have an entire tutorial dedicated to how to achieve this type of swirl. Basically you can see there I'm really just piling the frosting on top in kind of a messy fashion. The reason I'm going for a flat top is because we want that lovely golfing green, and I want it to be nice and high, sort of I guess like a golf course. So you can see there I'm just scooping it out so that it's coming over the edges of the cupcake liner, and then I'm just going to scrape around it so I've got a nice sort of a high, flat, smooth edge. I'll leave a link to the tutorial for how to achieve that style of frosting in the description box below, as well as links to the recipe for our buttercream frosting if you need to spend a little bit more time on that. Alright, so you should have a cupcake that's looking something like this. Now from here we want to do our little bit of sand. So I guess the little sand pit that golfers often get stuck in. So I'm just going to dip just an edge of my cupcake, not too much, just one of the sides like this into my shortbread. And then I'm just going to take a little bit more of it. And look, you can decide how big you want your little sandy area to be. But I just like to sort of have one edge or one side of the cupcake. You could also change this for some blue frosting and make it a little bit of water if you wanted to add a bit more colour to your selection. So that's going to be our nice little sandy area. Now from here you want to take one of your mini M&Ms, and we're just going to find a nice smooth part because this is going to be our green. So I'm sort of liking the look of maybe this area here. And I'm going to push this M&M using my toothpick. We'll use the other side that hasn't already been used. Just push your M&M right down there into the frosting. That will be our little golf hole. Beautiful. Now you can decide where you want your golf ball to go. You might want to have it in the hole, or you might want to have it on the side of the hole. I'm going to put this one just here. Almost got that hole in one. You want to take your Ziploc bag now, and we're going to do that grass detail. It's just taking your knife or a spoon, just scoop a bit of that frosting into your Ziploc bag. any air out of that bag and push the frosting down to one corner before sealing it. And to make a little, sort of a little bit of a grassy looking piping tip, we're just going to cut up into a little triangle. So up in one direction and then down in the other direction. So you've just got a little triangular cut taken there, and that's just going to give our grass a little bit of a point. Now I like to just go around my green area. So decide where you want your green area to be and just sort of outline it first. Alright, so I'm happy with that being my green, and that will make sure that I don't go inside that area with my grass. And then you just want to outline your shortbread biscuit, because you don't want to be moving that all the way through and getting shortbread through everything. So as I outline this, I'm kind of just going to squiggle the bag a bit. So you can see there, just sort of moving it up and down to give it that little bit of a rough edge look. So it's starting to take shape, but we're not quite there yet. So now what you want to do is you just want to take your bag, and we're just going to make nice, short, and as neat as you can, because golf greens are always really well mowed. So try to keep them all roughly the same length, but you're really just pulling that bag up, and that little triangle that we've cut into it is going to give us a really nice point as we come to the top of our peak of grass. If you love this tutorial, make sure that you head on over to our channel, My Cupcake Addiction. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see what else we've got for you in the way of cupcake and cake pop and cake decorating tutorials. We would absolutely love to have you stop by. Alright, so now that we've got the top of our green all sort of grassed in, just around the main sort of, I guess, the green area, just pop your bag down onto that little snail or that little swirl that you made, just to spike it up. So we've sort of made that little outline so that we won't go inside it, and now we just want to blend it in with the grassy surroundings. So I'm not actually squeezing the bag here, I'm really just adding a bit of texture so that it looks like that nice little smooth green is happening a little bit organically. So to finish it off, I'm going to go up the sides with my bag. I might apply a little bit more frosting, but really I'm just sort of dragging the bag through with just a very small amount of pressure and just making like a grassy sort of a line up the side. It's just gonna, when you look at the side of the cupcake, it's gonna make it look like it's, I guess, a bit of a bird's eye view. So you're looking at the grass from the side all the way to the top. And take that grass all the way around to the edges of your little sandy area. Now if you find that you're a little bit messy around the edges, just run your finger just around the bottom of that grass. You should be able to pick up any excess. And then finally, we have our little golf flag that's now completely dry, so that's not going to go anywhere. And just to see that it's the right height, I'm going to sit it next to the cupcake, and I'm quite happy with how that's going to stand up. So you just want to position your little golf flag somewhere right in close to your mini M&M. So I'm just going to push that down into the cupcake. Beautiful. And I'm just going to use my toothpick just to readjust our mini M&M to make sure it's all sitting nicely. So there you have your gorgeous little golfing cupcakes, perfect for any golf enthusiast, anyone that likes spending time on the green. Thank you very much for watching.